watching the Sports Political channel of LB. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure to subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Let's get down to business on this particular video. I'm going to talk about one Donovan Mitchell as talks between the Knicks and the Utah Jazz has reignited. Now, back in July, the Knicks had talks with the Utah Jazz, but the Utah Jazz wanted something outlandish to where they wanted 6 future first-round draft picks, and those picks are unprotected, by the way, plus Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quigley, Obi Toppin, and Miles McBride. But the Knicks, learning from the mistakes of the Minnesota Timberwolves, backed away from that proposal. And talks have stalled for weeks after that outlandish trade request. And according to multiple media outlets, the talks have reignited, but there's hurdles remain. So the Knicks and the Jazz had fresh conversations within the past week about potential trade packages for Mitchell, but there's no traction between the two teams on the deal, and there's no Mitchell trade is imminent for the Jazz. Now, 2 other teams have came into play in this scenario to throw a potential wrench in this deal are the Washington Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets. Now, throughout trade talks, the Knicks have made it abundantly clear that they want Donovan Mitchell. And they had trade talks during the Summer League, as I alluded to, when the Jazz wanted 10 freaking players, 6 unprotected first rounders, and 4 other active Knicks players. Right? Now, Donovan Mitchell, he's been cordial throughout all this. He really doesn't care. If he stays in Utah, he goes to the Knicks, wherever, right? Now, one thing to know, he still had 3 years left on his deal, right? Excuse me. The 25-year-old has made 3 consecutive All-Star appearances, averaging close to 24 a game with 4.5 assists and low over 4 rebounds in his 5 NBA seasons. Now, the Utah Jazz roster is going to look completely different. They already traded away Rudy Gobert and that outlandish deal that killed the market to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I talked about how bad that trade was on so many different levels and so many different videos, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. How in the devil did Rudy Gobert become this all-star blockbuster attraction and a centerpiece in that deal with Minnesota? Jesus Christ Almighty. That killed the market. Any other potential deal that was going to be put in place, that deal killed the market. That's why KD didn't get moved, Kyrie didn't get moved, and those guys obviously are way better players than Rudy Gobert. Nevertheless, and they traded Royce O'Neal, career role player for them. They traded him to the Brooklyn Nets. So already, the Utah Jazz roster is going to look completely different, right? And they hired Will Hardy, who was the #1 assistant to Ime Udoka in Boston, after Quinn Snyder elected not to re-sign with the Jazz after 8 years. Because, truth be told, Quinn Snyder never gotten them past the second round. So as of right now, there's no trade imminent for Donovan Mitchell. Now, as far as him going to the Wizards, let's say on the off chance he's going to the Wizards and all that, right? So you have a potential lineup with Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, and Donovan Mitchell, right? Where does that leave Kyle Kuzma? Because I'm pretty sure the Jazz are going to want him in the trade deal and whatever else Washington is willing to give up. So you got that scenario, right? And then say he goes to the Charlotte Hornets. What's up, underrated? Hey, come on in. I put the link in the chat. Come on in. Say he goes to the Hornets. Now you got a potential backcourt with him and LaMelo Ball. You're not paying Miles Bridges because Miles Bridges got the DV charges over his head. So you're not giving him that max deal. So you're not giving that to Gordon Hayward. You're looking to trade him. You're not giving that to Terry Rozier. Matter of fact, Terry Rozier might be one of those guys. If such trade go down, he would probably be one of the trade targets. And it's that, in my opinion, makes sense considering that he has ties with Danny Ainge during their time in Boston. But then again, Danny Ainge was there when he did the signing trade for Terry Rozier to go from Boston to Charlotte. So would Danny Ainge go down that well again if that were to happen? But that's just two lightning rod scenarios I just pointed out when it came to the Wizards and the Utah Jazz. Now, if Donovan Mitchell goes to the Wizards, then this team would be formidable. I believe this team would be formidable. They won't be a threat to win the East, but it'll be a formidable opponent for anyone else. I just believe that they're going to need like one or two more pieces for that to really work. But as of right now, the New York Knicks are the front runners to land Donovan Mitchell. And truth be told, if you go through the Knicks roster, right? Let's go through the New York Knicks roster. And let's play a game of who do you trust? Now, they acquired Jalen Brunson not that long ago, and the Knicks are still under investigation for tampering when it came to that ordeal with Jalen Brunson, right? So you still got to figure out what the results are from that investigation. But let's do this and let's just play a game of who do you trust. Make sure you hit the like button too. Hit the like button. It's only $3.99. Salute to everybody that's in here. And yeah, just make sure you hit that like button and support the channel. My screen will stop freezing up. Then we can really get down to the nitty gritty and look at this Knicks roster, and then we could really play a game of who do you trust. Who do you love? Are you sure? Who do you love? Are you sure? All right. Now, look at this roster right here, right? Now, outside of Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose and even Julius Randle, outside of those guys, this team is fairly young. R.J. Barrett came into the zone last year, right? But is he really ready to take that next step? Cam Reddish was the guy they got in the trade with the Atlanta Hawks last year, and also he was R.J. Barrett's teammate when they were at Duke. But he wasn't ready when he came out there because they was on that team with him, RJ, and Zion. Cam Reddish wasn't ready back then. And the fact that the Atlanta Hawks got off of him so quick, and then when he went to the Knicks, Cam Reddish really haven't gotten any burn on the Knicks. He just sat there and collected dust. So obviously, do you trust him? Probably not. Obi Toppin, a guy that, for whatever inexplicable reason, Tom Thibodeau just didn't want to give him the run. Same one with Emmanuel Quigley, right? I mean, these young guys got to get burned, and you got to see what you got in them. You can't evaluate these guys if they're sitting on the bench. Miles McBride, a rookie. Well, not a rookie. Quentin Grimes. Evan Fournier. You don't know what the hell you're going to get out of Evan Fournier. One game, he's 8 for 13, scoring 25, 26 points. Another game, he's 2 for 15, scoring 10 points. You don't know what kind of production you're going to get out of Evan Fournier on a given night. They signed him as a free agent after he had a long career with the Orlando Magic, was traded to the Boston Celtics, and then the Knicks signed him to that $78 million deal, which I thought was egregious then. All right, underrated. What's up, bro? Go subscribe to the Underrated Darkness, man. You know what I'm saying? We cooking on the Knicks. What you got on this, bro?
I'm gonna say this though. You might disagree on this, but I feel very strongly. Get rid of Fournier. Get rid of the fucking coach. Get rid of Randall, and keep the young players. And there's a way that you can still have Donovan Mitchell and keep the young players. Let's roll. I don't like the coach. I really don't care. He, we know in February or March. I think it's in February. In 1 month, they blew a 20-point lead, and he don't want to change. And it's got to be a shot on from the top. I like the young players. I think they should get played more. I like. I can't reps. I like when they put him in, he did something and he take him out. How the young players supposed to do? And you got these dinosaur veterans, and so for me, it's like they can make all the moves they want to. I want that coach to be gone. I want a coach that going to identify today's NBA. I'm not saying you got to play defense. Yes, you got to play defense, but you can work that way in how the NBA. Hey, learn to play the passing lanes. Learn to switch up, and after you still could create turnovers, and they got the players to do that. Now, there's people gonna say, "Oh, they don't." I said, "Yes, they do. You need a coach." That's what they should have got. Mark Jackson. They should change everything. And no. Mm-mm. Now all of a sudden y'all want to y'all want to read back readings there, man. Now all of a sudden, hold on. I'll be right back. Keep on talking. I'll be right back.
Hold on. What the devil was that?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
I don't know. It must have been one of them spam thing that shows up on these on this thing. But anyway, yeah. So can you?
Sorry, that was me. That was me.
Underrated. Hold on, Gideon. Hey, underrated. Let me ask you this, right? Looking at that roster, who do you trust on that roster?
But see, all right, I understand. But which coach who you trust? Come on, we come on. I understand what you're saying, but it's go about the culture. I don't trust Tips. These young players, they got they got to fill their O's. They got to make some damn mistakes. That's the only way you're
True.
gonna know stuff like that. I don't want the fucking coach there. He's gonna hurt those players.
Well, he's forced to play these young guys. I mean, if you look at that
He was
roster,
because you know why? Because the veterans was hurt. He ain't had no choice, and it was something they would never been playing.
yeah.
Come on, we got to see for what it is, y'all. He didn't. His thing was he do not want to play the young players. He just want to play them in practice and say, "Oh, we just want to see him get better." But every time they do something right, he yanked them out. How they
That
supposed
was,
to grow?
that was disrespectful by Thibs, yeah.
All right, what you got, Gideon?
So right, salute LB, salute Dark Underrated Darkness. Personally, for me, I look at both sides. Yes, Tom Thibodeau is stubborn and very close-minded, but at the same time, I don't want to fire Tom yet. I'm gonna see. Maybe I'm just wait around like Christmas time, around that 20 games or around Christmas time to see if Tom deserves to be coaching his team or not. Because yes, I know Tom Thibodeau can be clueless sometimes, which he is, but this is the same coach that did help us get the 4th seed in 2021, so we can't forget about that. So, I'm gonna see. We're gonna find out how the season goes. If I have to guess, I don't think New York makes the playoffs this season unless they get Mitchell. So my keys for that's the thing there. This roster, I think RJ Barrett will improve. I think RJ is going to improve. I think Jalen Brunson is a decent signing. I wish we didn't overpay him $26 million. That's just bogus.
Right.
Isaiah Hartenstein is a good move. He's a stretch big. So that's the thing there. So for me, with the Tom Thibodeau situation, he does need to open his mind to play the young guys. There's too many times I'm seeing Obi Toppin, Cam Reddish not getting many minutes. That's just dumb. If you're Tom,
He ain't have no choice in that matter. He ain't have no choice but to play these young guys. Because if you look at this, right, they traded Jalen Duran and Kemba Walker to the Pistons 2025 first round pick, and then a conditional 2025 pick that Milwaukee owns. And then the Knicks get a trades exception. That happened on July 6th. July 8th, they waived Taj Gibson. Thank you, God. Right?
I'll miss Taj, though, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had no business on the court. Trevor Keels, an unknown and undesirable. July 11th, they traded Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, 2023 second round pick, 2026 second round pick to the Pistons for Nikola Radikovic, and a 2025 second round pick, a conditional 2025 second round pick that Detroit owns, and a 2023 second round pick Detroit owns, and 2026 second round pick. That's more favorable. And then they signed Isaiah Hartenstein. He was a free agent from the Clippers, right? He's bounced around the league. He's played for the he played for the Rockets. Rockets and Clippers were the two teams I knew he played for.
Yeah.
Right? And then Jalen Brunson, the same thing I talked about where they're investigating that move because they were talking to him prior to free agency beginning, allegedly.
Right.
And then Mitchell Robinson, right? Guy got upside, but he can't stay healthy. Right?
Right.
So now you got a situation where he ain't got no choice but to play the young guys. So we all know in the starting lineup, right? And Underrated, you come back on in for this one. We can all chop it up and whatever like that. So who you think Gideon and Underrated? I think the potential starting five is going to be Jalen Brunson, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and then maybe
no, Mitch will play the 5. Mitch is our center. Randall will play the 4. Mitch will play the 5.
Julius Randle. I forgot about him. Yeah, Julius Randle.
I can agree with that. If we don't get Spider, I can see that lineup being that Brunson, Fournier, RJ, JR 40, and Mitch. I can see that though. Yeah, I think that'll be the lineup.
Hey, what do you think the starting five is going to be underrated?
I don't give a fuck, man. I want that coach to go. Listen, I like
For
it.
me, I'll just wait till either 20 games or Christmas Day. That's
No. That's not good enough for me. That's unacceptable. I want the motherfucker to go because he's not going to play right. I don't know why you want. I don't know why people to keep on excusing Julius Randle. He don't want to fucking play. He just want a fucking paycheck.
Randall was inconsistent as hell last year. Man, his brain was in the gutter last year.
He
No,
should
I'll
keep
tell you what his problem was.
his fucking mouth shut.
I'm gonna tell you what his problem was, right? Tell you what his problem was. And Ticket talked about this, right? So salute to my brother Ticket, right? And he was spot on with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he first got to the Knicks, he had that one good year with the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
He thought it was all good in the neighborhood. He thought it was all good in the neighborhood, and that way he don't have to go and put in that work. But the thing is, in New York, anybody that been in New York or been around New York or a fan of a New York sports team is, you just can't come in for 1 year and think you can just and do your thing and think that's gonna be good enough. No, he got too big headed. He's second year got too big headed, started playing like shit, was inconsistent. He out there booing the crowd because they were out there playing like trash against the Celtics. Now they ultimately came back and won that game, but I mean that was a bad look for him to be out here booing the crowd.
That was horrible, wrong, and disrespectful. The same crowd that gave you energy for the same crowd that gave you energy when you made the All-Star team in 2021.
I mean, how many All-Star appearances Julius Randle been in? Like one?
There's only one more appearance than you and me. Yeah. And to add to your point, remember New York gave him a 4-year, $117 million extension last summer? Like you said, ever since that contract, Randall became more of a he had attitude problems. He didn't take responsibility for his actions, and his defense was bad this year compared to 2021 when New York was the 4 seed. And another problem I have with Randall, he's not clutch, man. Do you notice that he's trash in the fourth quarter? Did you notice that? He's a good player, but did you know that he's trash in the fourth quarter?
He's also trash when it comes to double teams. The dude don't know how to handle double teams, and he
Right.
can only go left. He don't know how to use his right.
Right. I mean, right. Julius Randle's a good player, but but Randle's like a number 2 or number 3 option on a championship team, not a number 1. Let's be honest.
You say he's the All-Star version 1.1. I won't go that far.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. He's better.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Nope.
The only thing Ben Simmons is better than Randall's defense and athleticism. That's it. But JR30 is a way better player. He's a better scorer, just as good as a passer, better rebounder. Yeah.
And on top of that, too, at least Julius Randle would take the court. Ben Simmons was stage fright ass when he would take the court.
True.
I wonder when he goes to his shrink, when Ben Simmons goes to his shrink and they hold up a basketball, I wonder what the first thing that comes to his head.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Ben Simmons sucks. I don't think he sucks. I just think he's just overrated. And the problem with Ben needs to learn how to get a mid-range shot. Yes, he can pass. He's an athletic freak. He's a good defender, lockdown D, but he needs to learn to try to, launch it from mid-range and maybe get a 3-point shot if I were Ben.
Yeah, I think if he get that and mentally strong, he get a jump. Listen, it don't have to be a perfect jump shot.
It just needs to be decent.
Just get a consistent jump shot, and if he shoot a 3-pointer in his career, I said between 38%, it's done.
And work on his free throws too.
And free throws too. If he master those, and I'm saying free throws, he shoot maybe 75, 80%.
Carlo, yes.
Hold on. I gotta address this. I understand what you're trying to say, Carla, but the problem is, right? You have to take the court to have a chance to underperform.
Right.
Ben Simmons hadn't even taken the court to underperform. So
And Randall's only been to one playoffs. Yes, I know he was dog cheese versus the Hawks, but he's only been to one playoffs. Benson's been to the playoffs, what? 18, 19, 21.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's been there for 3 years and he's underperformed. He had one. He especially against Atlanta. Like, so I like Carlo. You're a great person, but the idea that you're comparing Ben Simmons to Julius Randle, I think is kind of wrong. No, Randle's a better player, and at least Randle is a number one option. Got the Knicks to the playoffs in 2021. When's Ben Simmons been a number one option that's carried a team to the playoffs? He always had Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler.
But I would say this though, right? I mean, Ben Simmons got the skill and stuff like that. He can do more things than Randle can. I feel the Knicks did wrong.
When have we seen that? When was the last time we saw that?
He's only better defending, more athletic. That's it.
Hear me out. I'm talking about as a basketball player, he is skilled. I'm not saying that he due to his ability, but I would say this is what the Knicks did wrong. Randle had one good year, and you give him an extension. That to me, that was a slap in the face.
The 4-year contract, yeah.
They should give
him one good year. Yeah, I agree. You need to see more. You needed to see more before you give him that kind of contract.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I look at it like this, if you're gonna do it 1 year, you might as well do it to Fournier. If Fournier asks for that extension after 1 year, I can't get mad at him because you give it to Randle.
Man, look, you know I don't like Evan Fournier, man. I don't.
I don't like him either, but I'm just saying.
Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
That you talk about, yeah. You hit the nail right on the head, Gideon. He is Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
One game he's 10 for 30. One game he's 10 for 15. Another game he's 2 for 15. You don't know what the hell you're gonna get from that dude. Bro.
One game he'll drop the 40-piece McNugget with fries. Another game he'll have a Dunkin' Donuts bagel. If you understand what I mean.
You get the Happy Meal.
That's don't leave this out 0.5 assists either. They can't leave that out.
Jeez.
Man, I remember playing that Bama one night on FanDuel because they were going against the Brooklyn Nets. You know, Brooklyn no play. I don't know. They ain't played no goddamn defense last year, whatever like that, right? So I figured, Evan Fournier, he'd get some bucket, right? Man, that motherfucker went 3 for 15. I want to throw my phone in the fucking trash, bro.
Sacre blue. No pun intended. Evan Fournier. I don't know. And also, look, Fournier is a decent player. He could play make here and there. What?
You say he's decent?
Yeah, he's decent. He's not a bum.
He's just strong word, but Evan Fournier.
No, I'm not saying he's a star. He's not. I'm just saying he's still a decent player. I'm just saying we all can agree that he's very streaky. He's very streaky. One game, he can drop the 40-piece. Another game, who have the same amount of points as you, me, and the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That's how bad he is. That's how inconsistent he is, yes.
What's up with 180? Salute to you. No, I don't like Evan Fournier. I do not like that dude, bro. I don't.
He just doesn't fit on this team. Personally, for me, Fournier needs to go to a contender. He just doesn't fit on this team.
Yeah. He definitely don't fit, man. And then he's, those guys. I'm not a fan of Evan Fournier, man. You a fan of Evan Fournier? Underrated? You JDJ?
Hello.
No, he probably. He's probably making lasagna right now. He'll be back. But yeah. So
what you ask? I'm sorry.
Do you like Evan Fournier?
Do I like Fournier?
Yeah.
He can go too. Yo, listen. This is what I'm making my stance right here. My brother LB channel and brother Gideon. You can back this up with me. I want the coach to go. I want that coaching staff to go. I want them dinosaurs. Veterans to go to get younger, keep them young players, and let's roll.
All right,
Because
so
if
okay,
Randall is in the, I'm telling you, if Randall is in that start lineup, he is going to hamper the growth of these young players.
Personally,
you would trade Randall.
Huh?
You would trade Randall if the opportunity presented itself.
Yes. Get his ass
oh,
out. He don't want to be here.
but what would you want to get in return?
That's the thing about it. Well, you know, this is where I told the Knicks. Y'all got creative. They got these draft picks. Get damn creative.
For me, for me, if we did trade Randall, I'd rather get Spider Mitch. If not, and
Well, yeah,
say we get
you would, but yeah, Gideon, if say the Knicks do trade for Spider Mitchell, right?
mhm,
He will almost certainly have to be in that trade package,
more
given
than
the money
likely,
and whatever like that.
more than likely, Mitch only makes 30 million, so more than likely. So, well, they could do a trade package like this. It could. My guess for the trade that New York will probably do to give Utah will probably be Fournier, Reddish. I'm gonna say Grimes might be gone. Maybe McBride might be in there and some picks. That's my guess.
And would you trade 10 players for Donovan Mitchell though?
10? Nah, I don't know about 10. Probably
Yeah,
give him like
that's
3
what
picks.
Minnesota did with Rudy Gobert.
That's crazy. But would you? Would you trade 10 players for Spider Mitch?
No.
I trade 10 pennies. I trade 10 dimes for $1, but I wouldn't trade 10 players for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
Hell
not
no.
10. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much.
6
That's,
unprotected first round picks.
yeah, that's cuckoo crazy, man.
All right, so assuming the Knicks stay where they at, right, and they don't make no splashes between now and training camp. Training camp's about what 3.5 weeks, something like
Around
that.
that, yeah.
So say they don't make any splashes between now and then. Where do you see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference? Do you see them as a power? Do you see them as as a contender, or do you see them as mediocre?
Mediocre. The East got better. Mediocre. They'll be in the play-in game. I give them play-in tournament, but this team's not making the playoffs. I mean, who are they better than? New York's not better than Chicago. They're not
Nope.
better than Milwaukee. They're
Nope.
not better than Atlanta. That's 3 teams. They're not better than Boston. That's 4. They're not better than Philly. That's 5. They're not better than Toronto. That's 6. They're not better than Cleveland. That's 7. And they're not better than. Did I forget somebody? I said Miami.
Washington.
I think they're better than Washington. They're not better than Miami. That's 8. Where's New
Yeah.
York? Where's New York at? They're not making the playoffs. At best, they're in the 9 or 10 seed. At best, it's just reality.
So you think they'll be one of those teams that like you make the playing game and then you be one and done?
Yes,
Will you think underrated? Because I think Tibbs is coaching for his job this year. You know what I'm saying? After all
agreed.
the rumblings
No,
last year,
I'm
getting
telling
him,
you,
of him
I would
being
say
gone.
I would say this with Tibbs, they not making to the playoffs. They not. Another coach, yeah, I give them maybe a player, but with Tibbs, no.
I mean, if you look at the roster, who on that roster do you trust that's going to be the one guy that's going to be like, okay, man, we need a bucket, man. We got to get a bucket.
If they get RJ Barrett more touches, yeah. But we talking about the coach.
We
But
don't
then
feed him the
again,
ball enough.
you just signed Jalen Brunson, so who could be the primary ball handler? Could be him.
He gotta prove himself.
So I mean, this to me, this roster construction is a mess. Because
It's
remember, a few years ago, they had a whole litany of power forwards, right?
back in 2020. Yep.
Yeah. Now you got a litany of guards.
Sheesh.
So you gotta, look, they gotta come off of some of them dudes, man. They got to.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when you see the Knicks at underrated, you see them mediocre, a powerhouse or whatever like that. Where you see them at?
This year,
Yeah.
Yep.
again with that coach, mediocre.
So playing in tournament, but we lose.
I mean, they got some. They got some. They got some young. I believe they got some young good players. But Tibbs is not going to play him. So what's the use? I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah, you know, Tibbs he like running them like 6, 7 man rotations and all that.
Yes, and most of the time it's 6.
And he burns out the starters too much. That's my problem with Tom Thibodeau. He burns out starters too much. Again, I don't think Tom Thibodeau is a good coach, but sometimes his ignorance can be his downfall. Like
Arrogance, right?
And arrogance and ignorance. Like he's just blinded to what he's seen. Like, bro, utilize Toppin, utilize more Quigley, utilize Reddish. Come on, man. It's just idiotic to play Randall and RJ, Evan Fournier, a whole lot of minutes. Remember that one game against Denver that RJ almost got in a long here? I think he hurt his ankle against Denver. Why in the hell is RJ bearing the game where you're down 10 plus like a minute ago? Come on, man. He could have hurt an Achilles or something.
And before you kick that, brother, before you came, we cannot forget about, I think in February, 4 times in February, the Knicks blow a 20-point lead going into 5 minutes.
Multiple. They were up 23 on Portland, choked. They were up 21 in LA, choked. They were up 28 on Brooklyn, choked.
God damn, Gideon, you a fucking walking encyclopedia, bro. God damn.
Yeah. They also blew a double-digit lead versus OKC without SGA, Mike Muscala, Lou Dort. They choked that too in overtime. They also blew a big lead against Miami. Remember when RJ at 46? They also blew a big lead against Miami at home, lost. They blew a 16-point lead to Philadelphia in a row, lost that. And here's what's actually ironic. Did you actually know that we beat Golden State, our only win in February, which is actually what a coinky dink. We beat the soon-to-be defending champion Warriors, and we barely won that game because Steph Curry rimmed out a layup. Andrew Wiggins got Steve Kerr got a technical foul, and Clay missed a mid-range shot. If it wasn't certain things go here and there for the Warriors, we might have gone through the whole February without a win. That's how bad the team was.
But see, of that game though, understand what I'm saying. Tibbs had to force to play the young players, and I understand what you're talking about, what you're saying.
Almost forgot. They also blew a double-digit lead in Utah too. My fault.
Right.
Go ahead.
For all the games you're talking about, the young players had something to do with they had that lead.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you bring these dinosaurs. You know what them teams do? They looking at Tibbs ain't gonna bring it back. And that's the time.
Right.
But people want me, what you think about the team? I really don't care about the players. I want this month. He don't care. This is the thing people feel to understand. He don't care.
I can agree with that to an extent. Yeah.
If you fire, so when the Knicks do fire Thibodeau, right? Who would you like to see him cut? I mean, obviously, we all like to see Mark Jackson back in New York, but that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I know.
So outside of that, right? Who would you like to see replace Thibodeau? You want to see somebody off the that was on the bench?
Maybe Johnny Bryant,
or you want to get somebody on the outside?
Maybe we can, assuming New York fires Tom Thibodeau, which who knows at this point. Maybe Johnny Bryant and see what he does.
I know that was the name that came up a lot. Was Johnny Bryant.
Right. Personally, for me, I would just wait till around 20. I know Underrated Darkness will probably have a heart attack for this, but I'm probably gonna wait around 20 games or Christmas time to see where this team is at before I fire him or not.
So okay. All right. So say 25 games goes around, the Knicks are 12 and 13. You gonna fire him?
12 and 13. I'll be 50-50. I'll be 50-50 on that because it's not terrible, but it's not great. I'll be 50-50. If we were 4 and 21, heaven forbid, then yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Now hell with that. If it's 4 and 12, he's out of here.
I can agree with that too.
Man, you got an itchy trigger finger, boy. You want to fire him right off the rip.
Yeah,
He do not have. He's not have in touch of the play. You could see.
Well, what about you, LB? Do you think New York should fire Tom Thibodeau now, or do you think it should wait like some part of the season?
If you're gonna fire him, right, I would do it around the All-Star break. This is why,
Okay.
in my opinion, in my humble opinion, right? One, to outside of everything y'all say, right?
Mhm.
I want to see if he can develop these young players and all that, and that thing. And not only I want to see him to be able to develop the young players, I also want to see him open up his bench. One of the biggest things we get on Thibodeau about is running his starters and the six man down to the ground.
Mhm.
These guys be averaging at least 35 to 38 minutes a night.
Crazy.
And Mitchell Robinson, he got, unless he started drinking milk, he can't run like that long.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where Obi Toppin, Manuel Quigley, Quentin Grimes comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Run a 9 to 10 man rotation, keep these guys fresh for the So I want to see those two things, and obviously where the Knicks fall at in the Eastern Conference at around the All-Star break, because that's my thing. If you're going to fire him, that's the time to fire a coach, because you got that week off anyway.
Good point.
So
Okay.
I can see that. I can see waiting until the All-Star break to let him go. For me, like 25 games, like you said, 25 games, me around like Christmas time. If this team is a joke, though, like the offense doesn't change, the defense is worse, then you got to let him go. But if hypothetically the team is actually good, though, then and the defense is better, the offense improves slightly, then I'll give Tom and then I'll keep Tom. Again, I know Underrated Darkness wants Tom Thibodeau to go because he's stubborn, which he is. He's stubborn and he's very conceded, which we can agree on that. But at the same time, maybe why I don't want Tom to go that early because he did help us get the number 4 seed in 2021, and we were a top 5 defense. So, and again, this is the coach. This is a 2-time coach of the year we're talking about here in Tom Thibodeau. So, again, yes, he's more of a veteran coach, which I can agree with that. But we're gonna find out what he does this year with this new young core.
I'm gonna say to both of y'all.
You want Thibodeau fired?
I'm gonna tell you this: if a fly could sting you, it's gonna sting you. Right. He's not going to change. And the sad thing about it be these young players going to suffer. And then you know what's going to happen? We're going to trade these young players away. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to develop in good players and sometimes all-stars.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to change. He's not.
So
he's not going to change.
I could agree with that.
I understand he got to the playoffs and all that. Yeah, you know what? Because he was playing his again, he had to force to play his bench.
He was actually playing the young guys that year. It actually was, which is
right,
crazy.
But he was forced to.
Mm-hmm.
When a coach had to force to excuse me to use bench, to me that's a problem. Oh, no, he's not ready. What do you mean he's not ready?
That was disrespectful by Tom Thibodeau. Some of his opinions and comments were very disrespectful by Tom. Like, dude, when you mean that to earn the minutes, you don't give some of the players the minutes, bro. But I want to ask you on the way targets. When will you fire Tom? When?
I fire his ass right now. You ask me.
Right now? Right now? You want him? He's doing 10 games?
Yeah, clean slate. Bring Brian in clean slate. And yes, I'm gonna be nice today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting my Uncle Eagle. I say this. I go to him and say, look.
They ain't firing nobody right now right before training camp though, bro.
No. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna say this. If I was a head office, give me 25 games.
Okay, that's reasonable. 25 games, that's good.
If we don't see nothing, get your Samsonite ready, because you out of here.
Samsonite.
Okay, but I want to ask you, let's say New York is actually good. Let's say New York is, let's say 15-10, something like that. Would you keep them?
Gilly, you just, it's not going to happen.
I'm not saying it will. I'm saying a hypothetical. I know it won't happen. I'm saying, let's say they were 15-10 to start the season. Would you keep Tom? That's what I'm asking.
If they in good status, I keep them for a while.
Okay.
Let them hold down the seat. But if there's a bad 15-10, he got to go.
Wait. What do you mean bad 15-10? Like what? Like, bro, we weren't supposed to. No one. Do you understand that ESPN has the Knicks winning 39 games this year? So if we're 15-10, that's not some sort of an improvement. We only won 37 games last year.
Whoa. Time out. If they're projecting him to win 39 games, I don't know what the Vegas odds projecting Knicks to win. I'm taking the under on that.
Yeah, but that was ESPN. ESPN
What's up with you, bro? Salute to you, man. Good to see you, man. Long time no see. So what'd you say? You say if the Knicks were 15-10, you still fire him underrated?
He said it was a bad 15-10. How?
No, I'm saying like this. Let's hear me out. If there's like a 10, they just squeeze those games out. And I'm just saying like, and then you feel like they're looking at the coach. I said, man, we just got through the game. And I'm saying there's like camaraderie that they still winning, but it's still bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That you got to question that, because you want a winning culture and stuff like that. Because see, you don't see the thing about that I'm concerned of, right? Of today's NBA, these young players is very quick to tone down a coach.
Agreed.
We got to understand that. And we look at them like, that's something like because see, we got to understand Tibbs is not one to adopt to today's NBA.
I agree with that. I can agree with that, yeah.
And that is the problem. As a coach, you got to learn to adopt. Look at Red Auerbach. Look at Pat Riley. Look at Pat Riley when he was with the Knicks.
He did change. He was willing to change. Even Jeff Van Gundy too.
And Jeff Van Gundy, and then people fail to understand. Pat Riley almost took us to the championship.
94. If it wasn't for Dang It Dream and Sam Cassell, yeah.
No, I tell you why y'all lost that championship, because John Starks picked the wrong time to have the worst game of his fucking life.
And Pat Ewing disappeared in that series.
And also, Would you say who disappeared?
Pat Ewing in that series.
John Starks too.
I think Pat played well. You know what I think? I think the Knicks should have went to Orlando Blackman and played Derek Harper well. And I understand you had Hubert Davis. He hit 2 threes and you took him out and put back Starks.
That was unbelievable if you're Pat Riley.
How you could do that? You could hit 2 threes, a few more threes. And Orlando Blackman, he played, the great Dallas team back in the late 80s. He played in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? You could have used him.
Mm-hmm. And then we had another shot in 99. We also had another shot in 99, but I just felt that the Spurs were just a deeper team than the Knicks. Sure. And yes, Pat Ewing being hurt did. I want to ask you guys this question. I know we don't want to switch topic, but since it's Knicks related, if Pat Ewing were healthy in 99, do you think New York beat San Antonio?
No.
Still will not be enough.
I think I agree. I would say Spurs in 6 if we were healthy. Spurs in 6.
I think it would have been a closer series, but the Knicks would not win it. I think it would have been with the 7. But
right.
But the Spurs was like, Spurs have better personnel than the Knicks.
Better personnel, better coach. Yeah.
Gotta understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say this about people want to I believe in the Houston series back in '94. I think Pat played very well. He never really had a real support cast. So if you think about this, right? I want
Mm-hmm.
you to work with me on this. Picture if they would have had Bernard King.
Oh, they beat the Rockets with a blindfold. They would have wear a blindfold and beat the Rockets. Yeah, that Bernard
Ain't
King.
nobody who's gonna hold Bernard King. That's my point. The Knicks don't now they never Patrick. Listen, the Pat shared most of the blame, yeah. But I'm saying he's a warrior. They don't call him warrior for nothing. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying that he never really have a support cast. You look at Houston, people can say all they want to. They had certain players was there already. Yeah,
It was Ori, Maxwell, Hakeem. You had Kenny the Jet Smith
Dressler came there, but
in
they already
'95.
have a supporting cast already for a few years.
Yeah, but yeah, Clyde came in '95 season. Yeah.
Right. So Clyde was just a late addition, but other than that, Houston had a supporting cast a few years, and that means a lot.
I mean, yes, you need a supporting cast, but at the same time, I'm not saying the Knicks were ultra dominant in the '90s, but Ewing did have a good team. Starks, Oakley, Mason, rest his soul. You had Greg Anthony, you had Derek Harper. It's not like those players
No,
were
I
bums.
understand. I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about the camaraderie to be there more than 2 years. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. I felt New York was a better team than Houston '94. I felt they were the better team, but sometimes I always say the better team does not always win because of
No,
circumstances, and sometimes the team that's inferior can just have the better player. So I felt the Knicks were better than the Rockets in '94. It's just that the Rockets they just had better 3-point shooters and just had a better player in Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
yeah,
And like what LB said, John Starks just laid a goose egg in Game 7.
I think that and again, the Knicks made some I said boneheaded decisions
Move.
when it comes to business. I'm just saying when Arnold Black would play, when he played, he was getting busy. When you had Derek Harper, you saying, listen, if Starks will shoot like 1 for 7 now, I'm seeing you down.
Facts. I could agree with that.
All right, so let's go back on this particular thing right here, right?
Mm.
So say the Knicks pull this trade off, right?
Yep.
They land Donovan Mitchell. Will you see the Knicks? You see them as this? Does this catapult them in the East, or will they have work to do?
They'll be in the playoffs. I'll give them that. They'll be in the playoffs. If they get Donovan Mitchell, I say between 6 to 8 because the other teams I just mentioned are still better. So I think in New York, where to get Spider Mitch, I think they Michael Jackson moonwalk themselves into the playoffs.
All right, will you see this team should they get Donovan Mitchell underrated? You still see them as mediocre?
Man, Gillen, you be taking my points, man. I see the Knicks trading 7-8. That's it. First round, bye. That's it.
Mm-hmm. The East is just too strong.
This is a good comment by our Brian Williford. He said the beauty of having a strong starting five, is that no one player feels they have to carry offensive load carry the load offensively or defensively. This allows each player to focus on the assignment, so the SMBC won't hurt us. So yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only one thing I'm gonna push back on that otherwise really good comment, right? We deal in the league where you have a lot of players that have egos. So when you got the ego factor coming in,
mm-hmm.
then you're going to have a lot of people running around with that mentality. They do have to carry the load offensively or defensively or whatever like that. But outside of that, I agree with what he's saying.
So let me ask you, what do you think the Knicks will be? Well, when they get Mitchell, what do you think they be a playoff team?
Yeah, I say they'll be first round exit.
Okay.
Agreed. 7 or 8 seed around that.
Yeah.
They'll make a push for the top 6, I think, because in this, because this is the thing, right? I mean, there's 82 games in the season. There's going to be a few upsets along the way, right? Because you're going to have these good teams that's going to go to New York and have off nights, right? So you catch that lightning in the bottle where you have Philadelphia might come in, James Harden might have an off shooting night, or Joel Embiid gets hurt, or you get a situation where Giannis is the only guy in Milwaukee that's doing anything, and Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton is laying up bricks like they're building up a mansion next to the World Trade Center. Or you might have a situation where Jimmy Butler don't play in Miami, and I mean, who else they got? Oladipo?
Mm-hmm. Oladipo, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson.
Right?
Yeah.
So you might have those situations where Knicks catch lightning in the bottle and might fall for upset in those games, but especially if they land Donovan Mitchell, But yeah,
go ahead.
No, truth be told, they're a playoff team with them. They don't make the playoffs without them.
Agreed. But at the same time, I don't like using hypotheticals because those things can happen to us. There could be a game that RJ Barrett can get hurt, doesn't play. Donovan Mitchell can have a shitty game. Randall could be a ball hog that night and waste the offense. And like what Underrated Darkness says, Tom Thibodeau could do something completely stupid and then runs and starts to the ground. And those teams that you're mentioning will maybe have the fire in their eyes and stuff and kick her ass. I mean, personally, for me, I don't like hypotheticals because we talk about a bunch of things that probably won't happen. Though, I just like to assume everybody is healthy because even if one team, I just like to assume everybody is healthy. And I just think that here's the thing we also have to consider. Even though I believe we'll make the playoffs with Spider Mitch, teams are going to trap Donovan Mitchell. Do you consistently trust Randall, RJ, Brunson to consistently hit those shots from the perimeter?
Well,
I don't.
Well, Jalen Brunson's shown that when he was with Dallas and he had Luka, Jalen Brunson has shown that he can be a complementary second piece. He just cannot be the primary guy.
Good, agreed.
Yeah, I say this though. Talking about traps, that's an excellent point, but this is the thing about a coach. When a coach knows one thing instead of all faces of basketball, that is a problem. That's what I'm concerned of that no good tips. Is he gonna do his more homework of offense so in case if they trap Mitchell, will you trust RJ? Will you trust Bronson? And I'm saying this again, no, because you got a coach. He don't care about offense.
Agreed. I could agree with that. Yeah.
So you gotta need. So this is what I'm saying. That means that the second. That means the one assistants. What they have to do. They have to take upon themselves teaching them of that phase of the game. Because Tibbs is not going to teach him that. And I'm gonna say one thing too. Just as he ran doggone Randall down, he gonna ran if we get he gonna ran Mitchell down. You watch and see.
And who knows, an injury can happen. Mitchell could be hurt. Randall could be hurt. Yeah. RJ could be hurt. Yeah. Because of the amount of minutes.
If you put in limits, your body is going to break down. And those going to say they're going to blame it on Mitchell. Look what happened to RJ Barrett. Oh, look what happened to Barrett. They blame it on Barrett.
And even and another thing too, did you know that Randall? Look, and back to your point, didn't RJ almost hurt an ankle? I mean, I think he hurt his ankle versus the Nuggets. He almost had an Achilles injury. People forget about that. He almost had an Achilles injury. His career could have been over. Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna knock on Randall all the time. But if you play a person close to 40 minutes a game, what do you think is going to happen? But
Either an injury
you
or you
want
get
to blame
tired.
on Randall. Now that part, blame. I said you can't blame. Listen, despite I don't like Randall, you can't blame Randall for that.
Nope.
You blame the coach.
Yeah,
Then you want to get Derrick Rose 35 goddamn minutes for what?
And Derrick Rose is a grandpa. He's still good, but D Rose is a grandpa, man. Like, come on. I don't. Go ahead.
No, I'm man control. Then he gets hurt.
Okay.
Oh, then you force get the young. Oh, why we don't trust the young players? We don't. They ain't ready. What? What are you talking about?
That was just stupid by what Tom Thibodeau said. I mean, I don't understand that. Dude, like Tom, you're a good coach, but sometimes the reason why your teams flounder in big games is you don't give the young guys consistent minutes. Yes, it's Quigley, Obi flawed. Yes, they're flawed. Yes, Reddish is flawed. They're not perfect. We're not saying that, but give them the proper minutes for them to see what they can do on the court. They're gonna make mistakes. Let them learn and grow.
That's all I'm saying. And even when they was playing, you see they got better.
Mm-hmm. They got better in the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. In the second half of the season, yep.
Yep. He yanked him. I see. Why are you yanking them out?
Because Tom can be clueless sometimes.
Then you bring Derrick Rose back in. You play Derrick Rose almost 25 minutes, but would you just give him 3 minutes? Then you want to bring him back? He's tired, and then all of a sudden,
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, Albie, what do you think personally about Tom Thibodeau for you?
Man, he should be gone, if you ask me, but
yeah, he just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just want to ask you this one question. Do you think RJ Barrett will be an all-star in the future?
not with that coach.
You don't think so? Well, okay.
Not with that coach, he ain't.
Right. What do you think, LB? Do you see RJ Barrett as a future all-star?
Oh, yeah, he's future, yeah.
I mean, he has potential, but I'm not going to say no. He has potential though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I believe he would be. I go out and say I believe he'd be a future all-star, but not with that coach. He ain't.
Possibly. And also the East got better too, possibly, yeah.
To be an all-star, you got to play a certain amount of minutes. You got to have confidence in your game. You cannot have not that coach. No.
But I want to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell. If we get Donovan Mitchell, he gonna find out. And you heard it first right here on the LB channel. You gonna hear on the Ray Thoughts. You gonna hear it first. He gonna find it. I mean, Donovan Mitchell. He gonna find out.
And why you think Spider Mitchell regret? Like, man, I can't believe I got traded here, man. Jeez, that's what you think Spider Mitchell thinking in his mind.
That media is brutal. Come on, get in. Come on now. that New York media is brutal, man. They are brutal.
It's crazy.
Listen. Look, that's child's play. How they treat Randall last year. That's child's play. And look what he succumbed to it. Look, that ain't BS. You know that, Gillian.
Facts. In 2021, they treated Randall like a king in 2021. And then last year, people wanted him gone.
And he wasn't strong enough to say, well, I'm going to prove him wrong. That's what you got to do. Okay, you think, watch. You watch and see. I don't want to play here. I don't want to leave. Put up middle fingers at your
that was disrespectful. Or getting into fights with players. I remember one time he got into a fight with one of the assistant coaches. It was against the Lakers. It was an ABC game that I think slapped the computer because he didn't want to see his mistake. Come on, bro. You made a defense mistake. At least try to work on that. Also, another time that killed me was against the Jazz early in the season. It was in March. when Rudy Gobert was just trying to talk with him, and then Randall got pissed off. And then another game against the Pelicans in January when Evan Fournier was trying to calm him down, but Randall trying to push him off for some reason.
Yeah.
Randall had attitude problems.
And people don't think that was a resonate to other players. Like, I don't play this thing.
I don't know. Randall is a good player. He is talented. He is an all-star when his head is out of his ass. He is a good player. But the problem I have with Randall, man, he needs to learn how to be mentally tough, like you said. He has to learn to ignore criticism, man. He listens to it too much. Ignore that shit and learn to improve and get better.
All right. What you think about New York media, kid? Let's be honest.
It's brutally crazy.
Well, New York media, and look, man, New York media is a freaking beast, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like the fans, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to handle the New York media, or you can't handle the New York media, then New York probably ain't the place for you to be playing at, because
there you go.
Everything
the media is crazy.
Scrutinized, it's gonna be put in a microscope, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where if you can't handle that kind of pressure, New York may not. Look, and not everyone's built to play in New York, right?
Agreed.
Not everyone's built to play in LA. I mean, when you play in the big cities and all that, man, there's history, there's all this nostalgia that comes with it and all that. And a lot of these guys nowadays don't care about none of that. But there's a lot of other people out there that do. And if you can't handle it, then hey, people going to call you on it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to call you everything under the sun if you don't perform.
True. And Randall needs to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, wait.
The media is brutal. I mean, it's brutal. It's crazy. I mean, you had Boomer and GIO. You had also ESPN sometimes, TNT. I mean, it's not. Sorry, I'm talking New York media here. Also WFAN. When you play like trash, they'll get on your ass. When you play well, they'll praise you.
But it has to be consistent. Can't just be some one-off.
Mm-hmm. And you have to understand too, a lot of people they do this and that. Listen, you gotta learn to ask those questions too. I messed up and everything. But see,
accountability.
Accountability, and these players don't want to have accountability. I hear when people they say, New York think this and that. You gotta be accountable. If you go listen, I blew that. You think that it would go good with the fans? Yeah, he gets it and everything. And then in New York, you be in the street walking, they gonna come and talk to you. Yo, he beat us. You know what I mean? You gonna get him back. You gonna shove him off like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm gonna tell you.
JT, me ask y'all this question, right? So Brian Williford asks, who has the better lineup? ATL with Capella, Collins, DeAndre Hunter, DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, or Knicks with Robinson, Randall, RJ Barrett, Donovan Mitchell, and Brunson? Who wins if they meet in the first round?
I say Hawks in 7, slightly. I'm gonna give it to Atlanta in 7. Because I say Hawks in 7, to be honest. Because here's the thing. Trae Young is a dog in the playoffs. I mean, he was garbage last year in the playoffs against the Heat. But other than that, Trae Young loves the Big Apple. He loves to torment Knicks fans. So I think Trae will have a good series. Because here's the thing. Mitchell and Brunson will get killed by Trae Young on drives. Also, here's another thing, too. DeJounte Murray can hit the mid-range shot, and he's very athletic and quick, and he's a good passer. And Capella can do the same things Mitchell Robinson does, but better. He's a better rebound. He's just as good as a rebounder, better shot blocker, better scorer in the paint. And also John Collins. Did you see how he outplayed Julius Randle in 2021 in the playoffs?
Yes.
Athletic freak, can shoot the 3. And also DeAndre Hunter, that he can stroke it from downtown. He's had big games against us. I think Atlanta will beat New York in 7 slightly. It'll be close, but I say Atlanta over New York in 7.
And I think they beat New York. Damn, you take my points away. But I would say they could go more on the brother, get it on point. They would beat New York barely and 7 because of talent.
Mm-hmm. And better shooting too.
If people can say all they want about Capella, let's be honest. When he was with Houston, y'all, Capella was an all-star. He averaged triple-double. I mean, not triple. He averaged a double-double, y'all. And he was not really getting the ball. Let me say, he was not getting the ball for Harden. I know Chris Paul was getting the ball to him, but other than that, nobody was not getting the ball. And he averaged a triple-double in the deep West.
Facts. And also another thing to add to my point, DeJounte Murray is a very good defender on ball. You can just put DeJounte Murray on Donovan Mitchell. That can work. You put DeJounte Murray on Donovan Mitchell, you can slow him down a little bit. And here's the thing. And here's another thing too, right? You still got Donovan still there. He'll still be on the team. He can stroke it from three, and he can put the ball on the floor sometimes. I don't know, man. And also the Hawks are too athletic for the Knicks, though. Like Murray can fly, Collins can fly, Capella can fly. They're too athletic for the Knicks, and they're gonna tire out Randall and RJ, etc. And we have seen RJ and Randall perform in the playoffs. And Mitchell's a great player, but sometimes he can shoot you in of the game and he can shoot you out of the game sometimes.
Yeah, it is. So that's what I'm saying. I give Atlanta. I don't see, they better, and the team is better run too.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it'll be? Who you choose in that hypothetical, Atlanta or New York?
Now, I already put it in the comment section, but I chose Atlanta.
And and how long do you think that series would go if they would meet?
I give it 6 games.
Oh, you think they would close it out in New York?
What's enough say that that Atlanta will hold the well, hold on. If they close out in New York, that means Atlanta will have the home court advantage in 6. Assuming that Atlanta has the better record.
That or season series record, or season series head-to-head matchup sometimes.
But that would have to be in a situation where it's a tie.
I know that. I know that.
I know that. But so either way, Atlanta wins in 6, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think they got a deeper roster, and I think you can neutralize Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Mitchell, he can have monster games, but then again, some of them games he might have like 30 points, but he's like 10 for 30, something like that.
And he also struggles in elimination games. Do you know Mitchell kind of stinks in elimination games?
Bad record.
Yeah, it's a bad record in elimination games. So he
had a bad record. But we'll get back to the next time. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna go off the limb. I like Robinson. I just hope that he get his touches because he can block shots. He energetic and stuff like that. I don't want to bring up Tibbs, but every time I bring up Tibbs, makes me so damn sick.
I have a funny question for you. If you saw Tom Thibodeau, if you saw Thibs face to face, what would you say to him? Literally, be honest, face to face.
Are you gonna learn to play your bench?
Okay.
I'd be like, hey, can you buy me a sandwich?
No, I ain't buying nothing. No, I said, can you play your bench? Coach, listen, can you play your bench, man? Play your bench because you keep on playing you keep on giving these starters 35 to 40 minutes, their body is going to break down. You got to change it up, coach.
And Brian Williford said that the Knicks will have a better bench than the Hawks. True, but here's the thing, right? Quigley is good, but he hasn't played well in the playoff series yet. We're talking about a bunch of guys who have not played well in the playoffs yet. Quigley is good, but he's underperformed in the playoffs. Derrick Rose will give what he can, but he's going to get tired in the end of games. And also, Obi Toppin is decent, but as long as Randall's on the team, Obi will not get much playing time. And Isaiah Hartenstein, do you trust him consistently in the playoffs? No, I don't know.
You know what they got Hartenstein for, right?
Stretch big.
More than stretch big.
You played backup center?
True. He's only been to the playoffs one time. Isaiah Hartenstein. He doesn't have that much
Isaiah
experience.
Hartenstein really don't. I mean, let's be honest. Let's keep this 100. Isaiah Hartenstein ain't even getting no burn like that.
No, we know that. We know that. We were just trying to debate with Brian about the whole New York Atlanta bench situation.
Yo, they got Hardestein, man. It's a PR move. He's from New York, man. White, man. Do you understand that? It's a PR move. I mean, he good. I mean, he okay, but it's a PR move. They bring more people to the seats. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. People got know New York, man. But but I tell you this though. I'm being honest with you.
Yes, he's better than Kwango Diaz, and he's only been to the playoffs.
Probably get a little more minutes.
I mean, right. I understand.
This is what I say about Isaiah Hartenstein. When he's on the floor, he's a highly productive point per minute guy. Highly productive. I'm talking as far as like fantasy, but as far as like real life basketball player or whatever like that, I don't know. We got to see him get more minutes than just 10 to 15 minutes a night.
Facts.
He's on the floor, he's highly productive though.
Good point. And also, he is a good rebounder too. But the thing what Brian doesn't understand is that you're talking about a guy that only been to the playoffs one time in Hartenstein.
But,
like we don't know he's
going to
really
put that label on him, right? And this is why you can't put that label on Gideon.
Right.
He ain't been the focal point on those teams. He's the guy that just comes off the bench,
right?
Do a couple things for a couple minutes, and then he's back on the bench.
So right. That could happen with New York, yeah.
Well, but can we really? We can't really. I mean, that's unfair to put that on Hartenstein because
I'm not saying it's on him. I'm just making a point. I wasn't saying it's on him.
Yeah. But I don't want to put labels on nobody who's been career bench warmers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you gonna get my Gatorade? You know what I'm saying? I like orange, right? That was Isaiah Hartenstein, but when he's on the floor, he can play. I just need to see more run out of him, though.
And they still got Lou Will on that team. Lou Will, I know Lou Will could be streaky sometimes in the playoffs.
He's still in Atlanta?
He's still on the Hawks, yes. But if you actually watch Lou Will plays great on the road in the playoffs. He doesn't play great at home, but he plays great on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and he likes playing New York.
He close out games on the road now.
He does. That's another thing we have to consider. And also, Donovan, Roberts, if he's still on the team, he can light it up from the field from long range. And when he's hotter than a furnace, he can really smoke you. So that's the thing. So yeah, consider that. And remember, your bench gets shortened in the playoffs, though. You had to play your starters a lot more in the playoffs. Your bench gets shortened in the playoffs. And the game is close. And the game is close. DeJounte Murray, I think, would fit nice with Trae Young. And he's a guy that can take over the game with his mid-range, his athletic ability, and he's a great passer. And Trae Young, we know how much of a cool cat and a villain he is in MSG. I mean, every time he's in Madison Square Garden, he has, like, fire in his eyes, though. Wow. I mean, think about it. A game winner in game 1 against the Knicks. Game 6, he had 36 and had 18 in the fourth. Come on. He likes to torment Knicks fans. Even another game, he had 45 and crossover Taj Gibson. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could have had to.
I mean, I like D Rose, but D Rose is going to be tired, though. That's the thing, though. Derrick Rose is going to be tired. At least Lou will get you a lot of buckets and stuff. And here's the thing. They're going to trap Derrick Rose. That's the thing.
And that go back to my point a few minutes ago. Tibbs got to have practice to put these players in those situations you were talking about so they can trust them. In case like Rose like, hey, all right, you can trap me in 1-2. I can go there. It's just that Tibbs do not put – I'm talking about offense now. He do not put these players in certain situations that they succeed. And so when they get the ball, the 24-second clock, and it up to like 4 or 5 seconds left, you they want to play the play, but you can't. You cannot lose possessions like that.
True. True. And also, the Hawks are less turnover prone than the Knicks. If they were to face off, I trust Atlanta to handle the ball more than New York because Mitchell's turnover prone, RG can be turnover prone, Randall's turnover prone.
Yeah, it's going to be on Bronson. So Bronson control it. But see, this is what I'm saying that that you brought a good point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mitchell is turnover prone at times.
Mm-hmm. And and here's the thing that people need to understand: they're gonna kill Mitchell, Brunson, and other guys from pick and rolls and drives. That's what the Hawks would do, and pick and pops. Like I don't understand this idea that the Knicks will beat the Hawks. Get out of here, though. No, we're not. I mean, New York had a better bench than Atlanta in 2021. How did that turn out? We got smoked in 5. Like I know we didn't have Mitchell Robinson, but the Hawks didn't have Cam Reddish. So yeah.
Cam Reddish.
I mean,
Reddish was no threat like that.
I'm not saying he was a star. I'm not saying that, but he was decent for the Hawks. I'm not saying he was great. He was decent. That was, I mean, you don't know how he could have played in that series. If you look, I know Cam is inconsistent, but if you actually watch the series against the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Final, he had some big games. You can check.
Yeah, because he did. Why? Okay, let's put that into context. Why did he have those big games?
He had the ball. He had the ball more because Trey played in Game 6.
Okay, why did he have the ball more? What's up, Courtney Washington? Salute to you, bro.
I don't think he's trash. He's just inconsistent.
Because let's back up a second, right?
Right.
Milwaukee. What's Milwaukee's defensive scheme?
They like to clog the paint, though. They like to clog the paint,
which allows what?
3-point shots.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, I understand that. Again, I'm not saying Cam Reddish is great. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you don't know how he could have played against the Knicks. We're talking about the Knicks here. Sometimes some random player you don't know can have a big series. People talk about Mitchell Robinson being hurt that year, but people don't talk that Cam could give you a big game here and there if you give him the minutes. I'm not saying he's consistent, but he is capable of giving you a 15 to 20 point game if he wanted to. He can't shoot the 3, and he is athletic though, so you gotta give him that. And also the Knicks series, the Knicks Hawks series in 2021, we did a poor job swarming the perimeter. Come on, the Hawks were shattering franchise playoff records from 3. Mm-hmm. You can check. So that's why I'm saying is that people talk about, we would have won the series with Mitch. Get the fuck out of here. We lost in 5. Is Mitchell Robinson going to make Julius Randle shoot better than 30%? Is Mitchell Robinson going to make Bullock and RG shoot better than under 40%? No, because even if Mitch played in that series, he could protect the rim, but Atlanta could have fouled him and he could have missed some free throws at the end. We're like, I don't understand. I don't respect this logic that we would have beaten the Hawks with Mitch. No way, man. We lost in 5. We couldn't score the ball. That's what I'm saying. We couldn't guard the perimeter. And they put Randall and other guys in foul trouble. So I don't understand that. I love Mitchell Robinson, and he's a good player. He's athletic. He can rebound the ball and he can defend. But sometimes there can be games here and there when his head is not in the game. Sometimes,
especially on offense.
Exactly. And we're talking about a guy that had no playoff experience. We can't just assume that he would have dominated that series. How do we know that though? We're going off hypothetical, you know.
And it goes more to the point that the coach got to put players in positions, and this is what I'm saying that I don't think the Knicks will make the playoff because it's going to be growing pains and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying this that if they get Donovan Mitchell, it's going to be a fucking circus.
Like, you talk about circus in a bad way? I mean, we could be in the playoffs and that's it.
I mean that they're gonna put him like he's a savior. No, he's not. Don't do that to him.
Yeah, please don't. I love Spider Mitch, and Donovan Mitchell is a beast. He's athletic. He can stroke it from long range. He has a good mid range shot, but I don't think he's a number 1 on the championship team. I don't think so. He's more like a number 2.
I mean, like I say it again. Hey, You put Spider with that, you know, with that team. I mean, the young players, we can go. Hey, I said, with a good coach. Like I said, Brian. Now, if you have Brian in there, and I'm talking like this, it will be my way. You get 48 out, and you
Agreed.
get Orlando out, and then your bench, you straighten your bench. And I'm gonna tell you what, a nice person they should try to get coming off the bench is Terrence Ross.
I would consider. What do you think, LB? You think New York should try to consider getting Terrence
Whoa.
Ross?
You say Terrence Ross?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Mm-mm.
He's
No.
younger.
That's what you and I got to part ways on that. You say Terrence Ross? He's more volatile than Evan Fournier.
Yo, in this NBA, we need somebody to put it in the motherfucker and Ross can play.
Underrated. LB does have a point. Terrence Ross is a good player, but he is streaky. Like T. Ross, he could be the boss one night, and then next night he's in the doghouse.
That's why you had him come up like this, like an eighth man. If you get Brian,
Terrence Ross has always come off the bench.
Right, that of course, that's what I'm saying. So he know his role. He could be 7th, 8th man, come off the bench. He's streaky. You yank his ass out and put somebody else in.
But don't you want to get a player that could be consistent though? I mean, Terrence Ross is good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we get somebody consistent, right? But I'm talking about of the defense. I'm gonna go back now. Now I'm playing the coaching now. Now I'm saying like if you coach Tibbs and stuff, you need somebody to defend the wings. He's streaky. And listen, you don't want to talk about defend. He create turnovers. We get some highlights over here. That bench need to energize.
Right. And speaking of bench players, I want to ask you this: do you think New York should get Carmelo Anthony back or no? What do you think?
I mean, it'd be a nice little nostalgia or whatever like that, but I mean,
that ain't gonna happen.
But I think his age and politics and you trying to get the young guys in there, man, he's going to clog up a roster spot. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're trying to do a youth movement, bringing him back doesn't make sense.
But I would say this though: if you want to teach a young ones how to be professional, I wouldn't mind that at all. Plus, he got some juice. He knows his role, and I think I'm saying for me, I think he'd be a great addition because you can show the player. Listen, this is how it goes. Politics, this is how you work out, his work ethic and everything, and it will resonate and stuff like that. And then also at the same time, and you bring Terrence Ross in there, that can help Terrence Ross too. He can take Terrence Ross and be a squeaky shooter and stuff and help him work out with him. I'm saying that you got two worlds better than one. The next bench has to get young. But knowing Tibbs is not.
But if you want to get young, I mean, I would like to see Melo in New York again. But if you want to get young, it kind of would be dumb to bring him back in if you want to get young because he's like almost 40 years old.
Oh yeah.
Personally, for me, if I were Melo, I would go to the Clippers or the Bucks or the Suns or the Warriors. If I were Melo. I want him to get a ring, man. In fact, I want Melo to be. He's one of my favorite players. I want him to get a ring, man. Like, geez.
Because you know he's first ballot Hall of Fame.
Fast. The only thing that was kind of his downfall was his defense, and he was kind of a ball hog sometimes. But other than that, he had a Hall of Fame career. And in Denver, he was athletic. In Denver, people forget what.
Yeah.
He was athletic, and he could stroke it. So personally, for me, if I were Melo, I would go to the Bucks, Heat, Suns, Clippers, Warriors.
Yeah, and you know a lot of people don't know.
Hey, hold on. Let me address some in the comment section. You said we tripping. I'm a Bucks fan. Melo washed for New York. Yeah, but that's what we say.
Yeah, he doesn't need to come. I would love Melo, but I don't think he needs to come back. Bro. He needs to go to a veteran team.
I believe that. And you don't think people don't think he go to the Bucks? He ain't gonna help the Bucks. You crazy?
He'll help Milwaukee. Milwaukee's problem last year, they couldn't get bench production last year in the playoffs. If you get Melo, I know he could be a shot chuck sometimes, but if you get Melo, you get a guy that can create his own shot and can take the pressure off Giannis, though. So yeah.
A lot, right?
Mhm.
Because then also Camilla, he's a proven passer. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what I'm saying.
He's kind of
He's a
mediocre.
veteran, right?
He's a mediocre passer. I mean, he got better later in his career, but he's not a great
I'm
passer. But I
saying
get your point.
that's what I mean. Get it? That's what I mean.
Right.
I mean when he can make the capable pass throughout the years.
Agreed. I agree with that.
So that's what I'm saying. But the scoring and stuff, and his veteran presence that will help Milwaukee a lot. I'm telling people, you're right. Yeah, I want him to go to a contender. I mean, if he can't come to go to contender, that you know that you can get around. And I'm saying like this, that Milwaukee did that be one of the spots. I Melo,
Milwaukee, Golden State, the
Golden State
Phoenix,
too. That's right.
Phoenix. You can go there.
Phoenix, right.
The LA Clippers. We're just assuming these teams are healthy. Assuming these teams are healthy, the LA Clippers, the Miami. He can go to Miami. That'd be nice. Or even Philadelphia or Boston.
Right. That's right. Because a lot of people could talk about Melo they want to, but 5 minutes left in the game, he always produce. He's not afraid. You need a person at a time that come off the bench to close it out. Melo still could have that if he just don't play him a lot. No. You don't play him a lot. You use them sparingly. When you know there's 3 minutes left in the game and you're down by 4, that's when you bring him in. All right, Melo, close it. All right, take us home.
Come on, put on your hard hat and take us home, baby. I mean, I know Melo may be older now, and he's obviously not the player he was back in New York or Denver, but he still can get you buckets, and occasionally he can still back you down in the post. He can still do that, yeah. And he's a better 3-point shooter now, so that's the thing. That's the thing. So if Melo wants to get a ring, he needs to go to the Bucks or the Celtics or the Heat, the Suns, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Sixers will be nice for him. Yeah. What about the Grizzlies? You think Melo should go to the Grizzlies? Do you think he should still go to Memphis? No, why not?
Who?
The Grizzlies.
Who?
Why not, LB? Why can't he go to the Grindhouse and join those Grizzly Bears?
Because they're running, and he can't run like that. They got a young team.
Good point.
They got a young team that plays well together. They just need more seasoning. That's it. They don't need to be adding no old Carmelo Anthony. I love Melo. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Melo advocate. But on that team, no.
Yeah. Where do you think Melo should go? If you're Melo, I want to ask you, LB, where do you think Melo should go if he wants to get a ring?
I said between the Bucks and Bucks and Golden State.
I was about to say Golden State.
Probably. For me, Phoenix, Golden State. His best chance to get a ring: Phoenix, Golden State, Boston, and Milwaukee. Yeah, and Miami. Yeah.
I stay with Miami.
Why not? Why would you stay away from why you stay away from South Beach, man?
I mean, you talking about the weather? That is true.
Right. And besides, I know Miami sometimes can have anger problems, the whole team. But if you work with Jimmy Butler and you keep Kyle Lowry, you get Duncan Robinson. You keep Duncan Robinson, I should say, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. You get Melo off the bench with Oladipo, Max Strus, Caleb Martin. Though you don't think that team might win a title if they're healthy? They were Jimmy Butler 3 away from going to the finals.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
What do you think, LB? You think Miami would be a good place for Melo?
I mean, depending on what style they play, I see this team more of a half-court set type deal. Then, yeah, I think Miami would be a good spot for him.
Probably.
I mean, a veteran team and all that. I mean,
right.
I mean, Miami is mostly a veteran team, and with an experience or what have you. Yeah, I think Miami would be a good spot for Melo.
Right. And Melo in Golden State would be nice because you can help Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody, those young guys with them. And then assuming Steph and Clay are healthy, we just have to let's assume they are healthy and you can help them with shot creation. because Golden State did have a deep bench last year, did end up winning the title, but they could get another shot creator to help out Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So yeah, Melo will be nice in Golden State. I really want him to get a ring, man. I mean,
yeah, I do.
To me, his best chance was 2009 to get a championship. What do you guys think? His best chance to win a title was 2009.
Going against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers?
I mean, he had a chance. I mean, if you really think about it, the Denver could have won that series.
Mice has a chance to get a piece of cheese off a mousetrap without getting caught. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Don't mean the likely outcome ain't going to play itself out.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that the Nuggets had a chance to KO the Lakers. I mean, the Rockets took that team 7 games. What?
But they didn't.
No, I know they didn't. I'm saying that was his best chance to win a title. Because let's put a what if, right? I know we can't change the past. I know that, but I'm just making a point. If they beat the Lakers, they might have been the Magic. That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that he had that was his true chance to win a title that year. Because 2010, the Nuggets lost to the Jazz. 2011, we traded for Melo to get to come to the Knicks, and then we got swept by the Celtics. 2012, we got killed by the Heat in 5. And then 2013, when we won 54 games, we ended up choking to the Pacers in the second round. And then after that, we went to the abyss after that, from 2014 to 2017. So, yeah. So that's what I was trying to say. I felt that year he could have won a title. That's what I'm trying to say.
They weren't beating the Lakers that year. They weren't. Nope.
What do you think, underrated darkness? What year do you think was Melo's best chance to win a championship?
Maybe 2009, 2010.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Melo went to the Rockets, but it was supposed to be the big three between him, Harden, and CP3, but it just didn't work out. Yeah. So, and then he was supposed to he was supposed to compete for a world crown last year with the Lakers, but that Lakers team was a dumpster fire. So, yeah.
Melo, man. Yeah, man. I think with Houston, man, that was like what could have been.
Mm-hmm. But they just never fit. Melo and Chris Paul and Harden didn't fit. They all wanted the ball to be effective. And Melo wasn't playing defense. I mean, the whole team just lost pieces. Ariza, Bamute. They just never fit on the court. That's why the Rockets, I should say, just never clicked with Melo, Harden, and Chris Paul that year. Because they could have given the Warriors a lot of trouble, especially without Kevin Durant and Boogie being hurt. That could have been a chance for him there. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it goes back to Capella again. He was high getting the ball. He was getting triple-double. So why are people
double?
Scrub?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I want to ask you, if you have to guess, I think LB said Donovan Mitchell will be in Utah. Underrated darts. Where do you think Mitchell will be next year? If you had to guess.
I think he'll still be in Utah.
Oh, you don't? Oh, you think after all of this, he's still gonna be in Salt Lake? He's still gonna be wearing jackets in Salt Lake City?
I think he'll be in Salt Lake City, and I think that after the All-Star break, he probably most likely will see him. Then I think the Knicks gonna try to make a run to the playoffs. Hopefully the coach be going at that time.
When you died on that, you go die on that hill, boy. I tell you.
I want to ask you, underrated darks, when did you start getting on Tom Thibodeau's head? When did you start getting on his neck?
Been on his neck.
Even when we were good in 2021?
Even before
Bing bong.
Even look what he did in Chicago. Look what he did in Jordan. Look what he did with Joakim Noah. Look what he did at the Rose. I can go on.
Minnesota too. Yeah.
Minnesota too. We can go on. We can go for hours. He have a proven record that if a player that 1 or 2 or 3 years in the league, he's not playing them. He gonna play the veterans to his knee popped out, till he have Achilles. If Derrick Rose would not have been hurt, what could have been, man?
He would have been an MVP. He would have won another MVP. because he won in 2011. And if Derrick Rose was healthy, we can agree they beat Philly in the first round in 2012. Chicago would have beaten Philly. They probably would have beaten Boston. I don't know if they would have been in Miami. I doubt it. I don't think they would have been in Miami that year. But if you get the pieces around a prime D Rose who was faster than Sonic at times, man, yeah.
And look at Lil Dame. Lil Dame was no scrub now.
He was a dog on defense, and he could stroke it from the mid range and long and three.
Yeah. Let me tell you, when I was playing my P3, right, my PlayStation 3, right, and I was setting up my team, Lil Dame, man. I think it was against the Knicks. That motherfucker was a fucking no joke in that goddamn game.
He was an OG in that game.
He was no joke. I'm like, God, let me see some. Put it on the floor. I'm talking about blocking side, ripping people. I'm like, and I didn't win a champion. Man, listen, what?
True.
But the coach run him down too.
And 2015, if you have a prime Derrick Rose with a prime Joakim Noah, and you have Pau Gasol still there with Jimmy Butler, I'll be honest with you, that team might have won the title in 2015.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, they would have been the Cavs more than likely that year.
I thought you were the man of hypotheticals, Gideon.
Sometimes I could do exceptions. I can do exceptions sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I do exceptions. So I'm saying that if you have a prime Derrick Rose with Gasol, Jimmy Butler, Joakim Noah, you still get McDermott. They probably would have been the Cavs, and then we all could agree they beat the Hawks, and then you have the Warriors. That would have been a tricky series, but remember, Golden State was still inexperienced at that time, so you might have. The Warriors were a great team. Don't get me wrong, great defensive team, great offensive team. But if you're talking about a prime Derrick Rose, he would have given Steph Curry some problems with drives. He would have gotten better as a shooter because Derrick Rose did get better as a shooter later in his career. And if you have Jimmy Butler, he's not going to stop Clay, but he can slow him down a little bit though. And then you have Pau Gasol who can stretch out Andrew Bogut and Festus Ezeli. And you have McDermott that can stroke it. And you have Nikola Mirotic on that team. I just think, and Joakim Noah is a great passer, underrated rebound, and athletic freak. I felt if you had a prime D Rose, I think they would have been the Warriors in that series. Because again, Golden State's a great team, but we gotta be a little objective. They did have trouble stopping Cleveland's size at times in 2015. What are you going to do with Chicago's size, with Pau Gasol, Joakim Noah, etc.? Yeah.
And understand this though too. When you talk about the size, it was skilled. They were skilled.
What do you think it'll be? I know we cannot change the past, but if Derrick Rose, let's say, didn't torn his ACL in 2012, do you think the Bulls could have won a title?
No. Still not enough.
Not even in 2015 with Jimmy Butler, Pau Gasol, Joakim Noah, Doug McDermott, Nikola Mirotic.
Nope, still not enough.
Why?
Because you say if Derrick Rose ain't got hurt?
Yes, if he wasn't hurt. Yes, if he was healthy. MVP Rose, we're talking about. Yeah.
Well, the only problem with making that kind of assessment is we cannot treat these guys' career as linear because there's an art of regression that comes in. There's regression that comes that plays a factor into this. Derrick Rose, so I really can't really say definitively, even though I just made an assumption, right? But I just think that year Cleveland was on a mission, and
we're talking about 2015 though. 2015 though.
Cleveland made the finals in 2015.
Yeah, they did. But remember, Kyrie Irving had knee tendonitis and Kevin Love was out. Remember?
But you can't. Okay, so if you're going to factor that in, you can't just say, "Oh, we had a healthy Derrick Rose," while not factoring, while You can't put Derrick Rose in that equation and then say, "Oh well, if Kyrie was out."
Okay, fine. Let's say both of them are healthy. How about that? Let's say Kyrie and Love are fully healthy. Derrick Rose MVP. You still don't think it would be in the Cavs?
No, I still don't think so. That's just my opinion. And and Gideon, good and goddamn well, I don't like doing hypotheticals and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got me answering hypothetical questions.
Right.
Good and well, I don't like no damn hypotheticals.
Because we can't change the past, right? I get it.
And there's too many variables we got to take into account.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Good point. Good point. I understand that. I get that. I get that. I get that. I mean, I was just trying to do an exception hypothetical for myself, just an exception.
Oh,
but wait, what?
Was peeing on the man as he was washing his hand. But anyway, anyway, that ain't neither here there, man. I gotta get out of here. I gotta end this stream real quick. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take care of some business, y'all.
Okay,
I appreciate you all for coming on.
Nice talking to you again, brother Gillian.
Nice talking to you too, on UD.
Hey, Gideon, I appreciate you for coming on. Always welcome. Same with you, Underrated Darkness. Y'all go subscribe to the Underrated Darkness, man.
And yo, Team Tibbs, get his ass out.
Tom, don't listen, Tom.
I'm not. No. I promise. 20. You hear me first. 25 games.
So 25 games of Tom Thibodeau, and after that, you just let him go into the sunset?
Yeah. He better have 15-10 record.
Okay.
If he have like 10, how about if he had 10 and 15?
Oh, then he should be. Then he's probably gonna be gone. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Right, there you go. But give him 25 games. I'll go one thing better. Give him 30 games.
That's more objective. Okay. That's more objective.
If he finished if he finished 10 and 20, he got to go.
Oh, I agree.
That's fair.
I agree with that. That's fair. I agree with that. 10 and 20, he's gone. I agree with that.
But if he's 20 and 10, got to cut some slack.
Mm-hmm. If I were you, give Phibbs a pep talk. If I were you, man, if you ever meet Tom Thibodeau or you have his email, just give him a pep talk.
But what you would say?
Tom, you're a great coach, but you're a great coach. Thank you for what you've done for us, but there's certain things that I think you need to improve on. Maybe you can give more opportunities for Obi Toppin for him to grow. Maybe you can give more opportunities for Cam Reddish for him to grow, work on his game. Maybe you can limit, not a whole lot, but we're saying some minutes of RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and maybe work on your offensive schemes. Do more ball movement, giving goals, lobs. Don't do the ISO ball, please. And with that, I think we should be good, Tom. You're a great coach, but maybe open your mind just a teensy bit, just a little bit, though.
And at the same time, the pep talk, if you agree with this, you guys sign this consent.
Please.
All right, on that note, out of here. If y'all not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share these videos on your social media platforms. This your man. Scream at me.